Hello lovelies, welcome to episode 2, special fried rice. Oh mate, this is going to be a little cracker. Alright, we're going to get straight into it. So with the special fried rice we need our Chinese BBQ pork and we're going to make our own. So we'll get started on that first. So what we need first is one pork fillet. Now this is a nice big fat chunky one, normally they're skinnier than this. Okay, so we need one of them. Look at that. Okay, we're going to need some cinnamon, some red food colouring, soy sauce, garlic, brown sugar, honey, dry red wine, and one spring onion. Alright, let's get cracking. So first thing we're going to do is grab the bowl. Oh, hang on, we'll cut the spring onion. Alright, so just cut your spring onion into 3. Get rid of the top. Just cut it into 3 and chuck it into your bowl. 1/4 of a cup of soy sauce. Now I'll write the recipes for both the barbecue pork and the fried rice down below in the description as always. Now there should be enough marinate here if you want to do 2 fillets. That way if you want to have one as a main meal you can. Alright, so we've got 1/4 cup of soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of dry red wine, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of the red food colouring. Now we want you can have 1 fresh clove of garlic crushed up in there, or 1 heap teaspoon of your jar minced garlic. Once we've stirred it in really well and you can't feel any more honey, it's all mixed in properly. You want to get 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and we want to sprinkle it over the top. That's a 1/2 teaspoon measurement I've got. Like so. Leave it like that. Get our pork fillet. Alright, soak our pork fillet in there. Get it nice and beautiful. Push it down a little bit. Give it a few seconds, then we're going to carefully turn it over. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it in glad wrap over the top, and we're going to marinate this for a couple of hours. Okay, once we've got it all pushed in. Alright, so glad wrap it in the fridge. Every 1/2 hour we're going to get it out and turn it over and put it back in. So we want to do it 4 times in that 2 hours. Pork's in the fridge. Now we're going to do the rice. Now I love using basmati, which is a long grain rice, but to be honest you can use any rice that you've got. The most important thing is that we dry it out properly after in the fridge. As long as you do that properly, you seriously can use any rice that you want to. But if you've got basmati, definitely use it. Alright, so big thing of water. We need 2 cups of rice. Now when you cook it, alright, you want to get it up to the boil, but you don't want a really hard full-on boil. You just want a nice light soft boil. The way you can tell when it's ready is if you put a little bit in your mouth and it makes your teeth stick together, it's not ready yet. Alright, so just try it a couple of times until you've got it right. Once you finish boiling it and cooking it, rinse it out in a strainer or a colander. Rinse it really well with some hot water. Leave it in the strainer or colander to go completely cold. Once the rice is cold, get a nice wide bowl and put it in. Once you've got it in there, spread it out loosely. Now we want to put it in the fridge, uncovered, exactly like this. Alright, now because I'm going to do it in a couple of hours, every 1/2 hour I'm going to get a fork and mix it all up. So all the stuff on the top is what dries. So every 1/2 hour if you mix it all up, you slowly get it drier and drier. Now with the rice and the pork, you can actually leave them both overnight. Alright, you can leave the pork sitting in its marinade overnight, and you can leave the rice in the fridge overnight. If you want to do it overnight, just every hour or so until you go to bed, obviously, when you first get up, give it a good mix up. Alright, every hour or so. But if we're going to do it in a couple of hours like me, same with the pork, 1/2 hour, every 1/2 hour, mix it up. Now to cook our pork, we need a cookie tray with a rack over it. I'm using my cake cooling rack. If you don't have one, you can use your rack out of your oven and put it over one of the racks, because you're going to need one to put it on, obviously. But yeah, grab one of the racks out and set it over the top, and we're going to cook it this way. Preheat our ovens to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to drain off as much stuff as we can. So just hold it up for a minute or so. Okay, stick it on our tray. Now, keep this because we're going to use it the whole way through cooking. So we want to get ourselves a basting brush. Alright, and what we want to do is we want to, every 5 minutes, we want to give it a little baste over like so. Alright, and then we want to turn it over in the oven, and then we baste this side. Alright, and we do that every 5 minutes till it's cooked. Now this one's a bit chunkier, so it might take a little bit longer, but it usually takes around the half-hour mark. Oh, it smells awesome in here. Alright, half an hour later, and we've got this beautiful piece of meat. Now what I should have explained properly is that when you put it in the oven and you bring it out every 5 minutes to marinate and turn it, bring it out and keep your oven closed and do it out and then put it back in. Because if you leave the oven door open and do it, you'll keep losing too much heat, and it won't cook properly, and it will take you ages to cook it, and it still won't cook properly. So yeah, to pull it out, close the door, marinate it, put it back in every 5 minutes. Alright, let's see what half an hour's done. Oh mate, that is perfect. Yum. Oh. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to set it aside and let it rest and cool right down, and then cut it up into small pieces for our fried rice. Now, I reckon you probably only use half a piece of this. Alright, so there's a couple of things I forgot to say as usual. First of all, when you go to cut it up, don't do it on your chopping board or you'll dye it red. The other thing I forgot to say is that you can keep some warm or heat it up, and when you go to serve your fried rice, if you slice it up really, really thin and then layer it across the top, oh yum. If you make these exactly like this in the oven and that, but you do it when you're having a barbie and slice the whole thing really thin on a platter, put 2 of them on there and send that out with everything else, mate, they are absolutely amazing. Now, because of the stupid light in here, you can't really see properly, so I'm hoping if I do this, you can actually see, because before it just looked like all red. Isn't that just stunning? Oh, they are so yummy. Oh, brilliant, isn't it? Anyway, just thought I'd let you know that. Next thing we need to do is thaw out some prawns. Now, you need roughly 300 grams of green prawns. Now, when I first started cooking many moons ago, and I had my first recipe with green prawns in it, I went out looking everywhere for green prawns, and I couldn't find green prawns anywhere. And anyway, I was asking all my friends and that, and then one of them was kind enough to turn around to me and say, green prawns means raw prawns. I don't know why I just don't bloody call them raw prawns, so I'm calling them raw prawns anyway. But if you've ever seen a recipe that says green prawns, they mean raw. So you want 300 grams of already peeled and cleaned up raw prawns, alright? So I can only get mine frozen, I'm nowhere near fresh ones. So I'll put some glare wrap over them and set them aside to thaw out. Now we need 1 brown medium onion, and we want to peel it and chop it up really, really small. Now we need 4 spring onions, and we want to slice them up really, really thinly and set them aside. Alright, next thing we need is roughly 250 grams of ham. I just bought it like that, shredded, like this. But if you've got your own leg ham or whatever, you can cut it in strips like that, or you can cut it in little cubes. If you've only got sliced ham, just cut it up really, really thin. And if you don't have ham, you can use bacon, 250 grams of bacon. Just chop it up into small cubes, and we'll just cook that at the beginning if you're using the bacon. Alright, put that aside. Next thing we need is bean sprouts. Now I just get these SA tubs. There are 125 grams in there, and I pretty much use one big handful, which you can say by the look of that is half a tub. You don't want to overdo it, so one big handful, half a tub, and set that aside. Next we need roughly 1/3 of a cup of frozen peas. Set them aside because we need them thawed out, and grab some soy sauce and get that ready. Now to cook this authentically, I am using peanut oil today. If you don't have peanut oil, you can use any oil you want, but yeah, I love using the peanut oil. It runs at a little bit higher temperature, which is great for when you're using woks. Now the next thing we're going to do is the eggs. So we're going to get 3 eggs out and whisk them up in a bowl. Okay, I like using a little frying pan to do the egg in, but if, because the wok I've got is a cast iron one, so it's not too good to do the egg in, but a lot of woks you can flick a bit of oil around and do it in your wok, but I'm going to do it in this little, I hope it's not going to keep going in and out on you, we'll see how we go. Alright, so we just want to put like a teaspoon of peanut oil in. Heat it up really well, make sure it goes everywhere. Alright, we've got our whisk eggs in a bowl. Stick them in. So we just want to do it like an omelette. Okay, we've got a little bit left on top. Get it right under it and flip her over. Only for 2 seconds. Alright, now I'm turning it off. And I'll just leave it to sit there for a couple of seconds just to thicken up a little bit. Can you see that? Alright, and then I'm going to flip it out onto the chopping board. And now what we want to do is we want to roll it up. Whoa! Alright, you can let it cool down for a minute. Alright, a minute later. She's still hot, but it's not that hot. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to slice it really, really thin. Chop that up nice and thin. Look at that. Beautiful, mate. Now that's done. Put it on a plate and set it aside. Now the only other thing we've got left to do besides chopping up our pork and setting that aside is that when the prawns thaw out, because of the size of them, I would chop the whole lot in half, just so there's a lot more going through the rice. Once that's done, we are ready to cook, my friends. The prawns are chopped in half. I've got the soy sauce out with a tablespoon measurement out, ready to go. The eggs ready, brown onions ready, bean sprouts, ham, pork, peas, rice, and oh my god, why? Yep, spring onions, got it. Alright, so it's all set up, ready to go. So now you want to get your wok out. You want to put it in between medium and high, and you want to heat it up, getting ready to go. Make sure your peanut oil is ready to go, and make sure you've got a serving bowl ready to go. Let's do this. Baby, let's do this. Alright, roughly a tablespoon of oil. First thing we want to do is we want to chuck our prawns in, and we want to cook them. Now we only cook them for, well, the pan's not quite hot enough yet. It's harbour cast iron. We only want to cook them so at the moment they're a see-through looking colour. As soon as they turn white, they're cooked. Alright, so hopefully you can see that they're white now. Alright, out they come. A tablespoon of peanut oil. Your brown onion. Now if you're using bacon instead of ham, put your bacon in now too. Now we just want to fry it for a couple of 1 to 2 minutes until the onion is see-through. Now we add our ham. Our pork. And our peas. And we just want to cook it through for a minute just to warm it all up. Oh yeah, baby. How absolutely amazing does this look? Oh my god, it smells unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't wait. Alright, now I'm finished there. Okay, the next thing we want to do is throw our prawns in. Now we want to put 3/4 of our spring onions in, and we want to leave 1/4 there to decorate the top. Mix that through. Now we want to put our rice in, so just do it a few big spoonfuls at a time. Now just because we've got it all doesn't mean we have to use it all, alright? So you just kind of keep adding it until there's enough rice to food. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, I used all of it. Oh man. This is a massive mess, but it is so awesome. Look how much is here. It's just crazy yum. Okay, next. Want to add our egg. And we want to add our bean sprouts. Mix them through really well, nice and softly. Oh, I tell you, that's a good workout on your arm. Alright, so once you've been mixing for about a minute, we're ready to put our soy in. So we're going to start with 1 tablespoon. Depending on how much you like, how dark you like it, is how much, it's up to you how much you put in. I usually end up stopping at 1 tablespoon. But you can do between 1 and 2. So 1 in first, mix it through really well. I kind of go by the colour. Kind of want it like a light colour, you don't want it like really dark. Alright, I think I can definitely go 1 more. So I'll put the second one in. Now, as soon as this is mixed in beautifully, put it straight in your serving bowl. Oh yeah, baby. I'm sorry about the light, eh? It's terrible. I'm just using a little portable, rechargeable light thing over it. It's hopeless, but hopefully we'll be able to see properly in a minute just what it looks like in the end. Fried rice. Oh, and isn't it just that? Alright, a little bit of spring onion, sprinkle over the top. Boom, you've got yourself something fit for your whole family. Oh mate, doesn't get much better than that. Except what's coming up next. Episode 3, honey chicken. Now this is one of the recipes I put up when I first started the show a year ago, but my editing skills, well, let's say, were very basic, and they've come a long way since then. So I've got it, and I'm going to edit the crap out of it, and I'm going to stick it back up because it is honestly the best honey chicken you will ever make or eat. It's so awesome. So I'm pretty excited about that next as well. So thanks heaps for watching. Have yourselves an awesome night, and oi, give it a crack. As usual, there's something I forgot to say. Alright, we get our prawn crackers that we made before. This is the best way to eat your fried rice. Get your prawn cracker, get some of your rice on there. Oh yeah. And that's how you eat it. Just like that.